Hi everybody, it's the Soap Man, and about 20 hours later, it's time to cut the cold process soap I made yesterday. Yes, I did say the cold process because I put it in the oven and baked it. Okay, just less than a week ago, actually, I was going to try something with hot process. So this is my hot process. I put the video up. This is not bad at all. I actually like this better. This is really, truly what I was intending. This is the look I was hoping for. Just real simple. To try a new mica and a new scent. And this is what I got in the hot process. I actually like this one better, even though it's not what I wanted. Okay. If you haven't watched the video, or you haven't seen or heard of it, I did cold process, oven process, also known as CPOP. That's where you basically make your cold process recipe. You make your own recipe, you mix it up, you fix it how you want it, you pour it in your mold, but instead of wrapping it with towels, you put it into the oven at 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Leave the oven on for 1 hour, turn it off. I usually do it in the evening so I can just leave it overnight, turn the oven off, leave the door closed, and leave the soap in there overnight. And I pulled it out this morning on the way to work. Popped right out of the mold because the mold was lined. I pulled the paper off, let it sit today, and it is very hard. I mean, in less than 24 hours, it is very, very hard. Very hard soap. Ready to cut. One thing, if you do use a silicone a silicone mold to do CPOP, you have to line it with freezer paper. The reason, the soap will actually boil on the edges of the silicone mold where it can't breathe, and it'll leave pit marks. So I lined mine with paper, so it's all nice and smooth and slick where I lined it with paper, even though it's a silicone mold. Plus that helped the soap pop right out. Okay, why do we do that? Well, one benefit is it heats up and puts a gel phase, forces it all through a really hot gel phase all the way through, so you don't have a partial gel. And the heat added to it, what am I trying to say? The heat added to it, adding to an extended gel phase, helps the saponification faster. It saponifies faster is what I'm trying to say. It really has the same benefit of doing hot process soap, because you know technically you can use hot process soap as soon as it's cool enough to cut. This you can too. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try one. I'm going to take one on the edge because it's not quite as nice, and this is going to be mine. This is the tongue zap test. Alright, here we go. 5 seconds against the tongue, no tongue zap. This is cold process soap with all the benefits, but it is ready to use, and it's really a hard bar. Now this will sit here for a week. It's going to sit here for a week and dry out because I'm going to give the hot process out tomorrow. Be giving this out next Saturday, but I could take this in the shower right now and use it, and it'd be just fine. So you can do your intricate swirls, your fancy cold process patterns. If you put it in the mold and bake it 170 degrees, leave it in the oven overnight, your cold process soap technically is safe and ready to use in less than 24 hours. So you have the benefits of cold process, like your intricate swirls and designs, but the benefits of hot process and the fact that it's a harder bar and it's ready to use faster. I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting these. One drawback is your delicate fragrances. I don't know how well they would hold up to that added heat. I don't know. They may not. I don't know. I do know this one smells considerably different. This one I'm cutting that was in the oven smells considerably different than the hot process one, because you know the hot process you put it in at the end when it's finished and it retained the scent very well. This is different. It's a very different scent, so I'm not sure. I know because I've used it before, it's one of my favorites and always a staple. Brambleberry's Apple Sage is a very durable scent. I did a cold process, oven process with it, and it held great, just held great. We'll see how this one does. After a week's time, it may have time to mellow and change. But I'm really pleased with this. This is just a simple design, but this is really what I was going for. And having these two ready to give out, some of my other soaps, my true cold process, needed a little bit more cure time. They were a little soft and the scents had faded and they're just now starting to come back, so they need a little bit more time to sit and cure, and doing this is giving me that added time. Another thing else I did to help keep the heat in the oven, of course, like I said, I baked it for an hour, turned it off, left the door closed. I turned the light on in the oven, and it's amazing how much warmth just the oven light will keep in the oven, because, you know, that oven did not hold 170 degrees overnight, obviously, but the oven was still warm this morning because I had left the light on in the oven. And here you go, I'll get you into the picture. Can you see those little marks right there? Those little tiny marks? That was apparently a portion that did not get lined. You would have that all over the exterior of your soap if you didn't line it. If you didn't line your silicone mold. And then these are true cold processed. I had these left over. This was just leftover soap batter I poured into the muffin mold like I always did. So this actually is that same batter, true, genuine cold processed soap. Anyway, here we go. Let me get these out of the way. I haven't cleaned the lab up yet from last night. So, here's the hot process version. And it's actually my favorite. I like it. I like that rustic look. And then here is the cold process version put into the oven. The blue on this is a lot nicer, and it's what I was looking. But it is really true. You can have cold processed soap and all the benefits and have it ready to use in 24 hours. Although it will be better if you let it cure for a little while. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me put one together. Here we go. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.